Hey guys, welcome back to TBM Sports. Couple college basketball picks here for your Friday. Let's get down into the action. If you guys have been new to the channel, perfect time to hit that like button and subscribe down below. Join us. And I do have a page on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. That link is in the description if you want to follow me over there. But yeah, we'll be talking about it. We have a couple primetime marquee matchups. One late night 10 o'clock tip that I will have an official play in. We'll get down into that, as well as a total that I think is mispriced. So let's get into the action. We will use Outlier to break this all down. If you guys are not using Outlier, 7-day free trial, that link is in the description. Check it out for all of your sports handicapping needs. Best data and insights that they do have across the board. Do not overpay for a number. So what you're going to be seeing here, and that's why you need to have that notification bell turned on, because you will find the best up-to-date numbers out there in the market. And let's look at it right now. Okay, so I am going to talk about these two games in specific. However, I do want to make a note of some of the games that I do have some leans on as well. I will recap the official plays at the end of this video. But going down the board, one game that is kind of interesting is Indiana State and Duke, okay? Almost 40-point favorites there for the Blue Devils. You can talk about the Boozer Twins, the 3-0 start that they've had to their 2025 campaign. The Blue Devils now have a Naismith candidate within Boozer, okay? So there are a lot of things to like about Duke. I will say that from a standpoint offensively, it's not been, I guess you would say, what we're accustomed to. It's kind of a different Duke Blue Devils teams that we have been used to versus prior teams. And now we see a number set at 163.5. I do think that is kind of interesting as we do talk about for the most part, a game with a 40-point difference within that spread. I think that there is a lot of reasons to get excited about potentially going over that 163.5. A lot of points, but I think Indiana State will be able to score. So I kind of do lend towards the over conversation. If Duke gets into the 90s, I'd be very hard pressed to see this one not cash. But still, like I talked about, this is a big number. Okay, so it's not going to be an official play, but I do kind of gravitate towards the side of the over. Okay, going down the board a little bit more, let's talk about the next game worth talking about. And this is going to be on the side of Michigan. Okay, so we'll find the Michigan Wolverines fresh off of a scare, okay, and I won't say loss, but it was an overtime victory where, for all things considered, they should have lost that game. 6th in the nation, 2-0 on the year. The Wolverines laying 7.5 on the road, taking on TCU. I kind of like the Horned Frogs here, plus 7.5. I do like that line a lot. I think this is maybe not a get-right game for Michigan. I think this is one where you do looking at this, and this would probably be the third play that I would give you that would have almost made my board and been an official play. Very close. I do like the Horned Frogs plus 7.5. They've covered 7.5 in their last 4 games, and Michigan was, I think, a 17.5-point favorite last time out and failing to cover that. So we are seeing a little bit of a catch up in the market. Personally, I would have this number a little bit higher than 7.5, but I think this lends towards the conversation that Michigan is just not playing their level of basketball. They're not playing as good as we'd like to see them play. So that's why it almost made my board, and this would be a very strong lean. Okay, Iowa and Xavier. That's another game worth talking about. The Hawkeyes 2-0 taking on the Musketeers. Big number here. You can find 14.5 with some juice. I kind of gravitate towards Iowa. However, a little bit lower of a total, that I do think that does have a lot of reasons why this could go under 140 points. I think that's kind of where I stack up. And Xavier, for the most part, failing to do well, I think, in this game. I think that the Hawkeyes will maybe not roll, but I do like them at minus 14.5. It's just too big of a number to lay in a game where I do think that we go under 140 points. So that's how I see this game playing out between Iowa and Xavier. Those are just a couple of my leans, and let's get into the official play, okay? This is where we're going to find the first game on the board. Got to go down to 10 o'clock, but a primetime matchup. 2 top 25 teams between Arizona and UCLA squaring off. I like Arizona, okay? Arizona right now is taking some heavy pressure, as we have seen UCLA taking all of the money, and now you can find the Wildcats minus 135 on the money line. If you want to lay a minus 1.5 with some juice, you can do that. I'm going to lay 2.5 with Arizona, though, at plus 100. Okay, that's a very good number. I think we get a little bit more value. I know that both teams are 3-0. They're both ranked in the top 15, and UCLA is taking that money. But I just think with what Arizona is is bringing to the table today. A little bit better right now in this current moment, and I don't like betting teams just to break out, right? So for UCLA and Mick Cronin, I just don't want to get behind them until we actually see it there on the court, okay? So this is where I'm at. I think this is a very strong play where Arizona is kind of contrarian in the market, as you see a lot of that money headed on UCLA. But for me, guys, I do like the Wildcats here. 10 o'clock tip, backing the number 5 team in the country. Arizona -2.5 at +100. So we do get some value there in that spot. All right. And the next game that we are going to look into, this is going to be one where it is right before this on your board. This is North Texas and St. Mary's. So the Gales hosting the Mean Green. And this is a game where we've seen North Texas play a little bit. And looking at their games, we'll talk about some of the totals. They are 0-3. I'm sorry, 3-0 to 0-3 to the total going over, 3-0 against the spread, and also conversely, St. Mary's 2-1 against the total. Okay, but I do think that being at home, they do have a high propensity to cover this. I almost wanted to play St. Mary's team total going over. I still think that one might actually be a very strong candidate as well. However, looking at these scores, okay, for North Texas, 66-64, 64-62, 80-53. Okay, that's how I see it playing out. I know that they all went under, but in all 3 of those contests, and if you want to kind of put the first game under their belt, that isn't really a good data point. They did put up 88 in that contest. I do think that it's something where they're going to score at least 60, probably mid to high 60s based on tempo. I project them to score low 70s in this game. If they do shoot well, I do think they will get into the low 70s, high 60s. And that being said, accompanying the point spread into this equation, if St. Mary's does win and cover, the implied number there for a total vaults us well over 130, and that's kind of how I stack up, okay? So I think this one is a bad number, unless they're saying something or reading between the lines and it's something that I don't really catch on to. Maybe, but I think this one is one that does stick out to me. So over 129.5 -110, that will be a bet that I am making. Probably my favorite play of the day, taking North Texas St. Mary's going over. We need 130 points or more. Okay, so those are my best bets. We'll recap them right now. If you haven't hit the like button or subscribed, great time to do so before you get out of here. I will have the college football pick for Friday up on the channel, but my best bets, we're going to go North Texas St. Mary's over 129.5, and also laying 2.5 at even money on Arizona nightcaps, 10 o'clock tips. Okay, appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching. Like I said, check out Outlier. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, hit the like button, all that good stuff. Follow me on X, and we'll see you guys all tomorrow as we do break down the full college basketball and college football slates that we will have on Saturday. All right, that's what I got. That's what I got for you guys, and we'll see you in the next video. Cheers. Good luck.